I don't know what happened, y'all. So I don't know if I don't know how many people I'm gonna lose, but stream just kind of crashed. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe it might crash again. We'll see. YouTube ain't really been really favorable towards cigar channels lately. I'm sure you guys have heard that from other channels, but so there are other platforms that we are working on looking at. Maybe they don't like us talking about them, but I will start talking about that. But yeah. So anybody that's still here, Carrie, and I ain't even been posting a lot of content lately. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they don't, maybe that's their sign that they don't want me posting a whole lot, but we'll see. Sammy, man, I smoked the Cohiba Series M2, so for me, I wouldn't say it's a direct thumbs down. Now, what I will tell you is I've only smoked it once, and when I did smoke it, it was pretty fresh. So I'm gonna need to smoke it again. Wasn't the worst thing in the world for me, but I'm gonna tell you what I do think is what's hurting Cohiba a lot is their price point. I think that if they would try to target and try to stay under $20, I think they would have more success. But that cigar to me, whether you think it's an elite cigar, a great or a bad cigar, I think the problem is the price point of all of them. So same thing with the Cohiba Royale. I didn't think it was a very bad cigar. I thought it was a pretty decent cigar, but then I thought about, all right, this is $27 to $29, depending on whatever size you decide to smoke. That's where it becomes an issue for me. It's like, I don't think it's worth it. Now, with me saying that, I don't think the Cohiba Series M is worth $30. I don't think it's a terrible cigar. I think if it would have floated around a $15, maybe $16 price point, I think it'd do a little better. Got to keep in mind the cigars are made at El Titan de Bronze, so labor here in the States are a little bit higher. First time that they've done a project with them, but we all can look at the same time how much of that price markup is due to whatever the name and whatever the people associated with it. And Danny, what's going on? X95, what's going on? Tim, love the club, man. Excited for you, what you have coming. So yeah, Tim. So I'm smoking on a cigar now that's a brand that we picked up in TPE, which will be featured soon. That you guys will see if you're in the club, you'll definitely see these cigars coming soon. They're putting out a really high quality product. The owner is a very, very nice guy too. I really was blown away with him from the interview we had from him at TPE. Also, we'll be doing some things with a couple other companies as well too. We picked up quite a bit. We picked up quite a bit. James, no worries, man. I'm not saying anything, man. I took the band off of it just in case you got some people that's weird that pause stuff and try to read the band. But no, we're not gonna give away the brands or anything. You have to be in the club to see what we got coming, and that's pretty much the end on that. I'm ready for the Select Club, man. It's gonna be great. The first month is gonna be very good. Don't want to give away any cigars, but I think what's going to be really good about that too, like I said, it's a very small club right now. I think eventually, maybe in the next 6 months or so, me and James and Nick will go to the drawing board again, try to decide how much further we want to expand the club. That's not going to be meant to be a very big club because of the cigars that are going to be featured there. As you guys know, we've already mentioned it before with the standard offering in the club. There are a lot of cigars we want to use, but just sometimes it's just hard to get the inventory. And so it's much easier to get the inventory when you're rolling with smaller numbers. So I take that to heart, and I want to keep it small because there are a lot of cigars I want people to enjoy. But it's just with the regular club being as big as it is, it's just impossible. So that's something I definitely want to keep small on a personal standpoint. And you'll see, too, being within the Select Club, you'll see little touches and little subtleties that make things differently. There will be some heartfelt things, some things that I think that you guys will appreciate. We need your help in Montreal, man. Variety of cigars is rare in my part of town. That tax is probably killing y'all too. Yeah, Hero. I don't know, man. It just the feed just all of a sudden just went out, but it is what it is. Jay, what's going on? What's going on, Billy? Let's see. I didn't. Let's see. What did it say? I didn't pay retail, not a good. Yeah, so and that's for me too, Sammy. I was gonna say I don't think it's a bad cigar. I think it's a bad cigar at that price point. But if you can get the cigar at half off or pretty close, or something like that, you can get a good price. I still would recommend smoking it now. And another thing I will say about that cigar too, I think that with some age, that's gonna be better. I think a lot of cigars recently have been pushed out a little bit too soon. We talk about like the Supreme Leaf Corona Gorda. And in a lot of people's opinion, the Rare Leaf. Now, I was a fan of the Rare Leaf initially, but I saw the potential in it, and I like how different the profile was that smoked compared to what Aganorsa's heavy hitters kind of displayed. Now, I smoked a couple of Rare Leafs in the past couple of days, and this has been they've been out now for what, I don't know, 3 months, close to it, and that cigar is smoking completely different than it did the first go around, and I think it's smoking a lot better. I think that the Rare Leaf and things, I think that the Serie M will get better with age. Now, with me saying it's getting better with age, do I still think that it'll justify the price? Probably not. But again, if you can find the cigar, under MSRP, or if you can get it on some kind of, it'd be hard to probably get it on the bid site. But again, if you're featured, if you're signed up for a monthly club and you're able to get it for less than retail and have a chance to smoke it, I think that's still a good deal. Yeah, that guy was I was very impressed with him. I thought he was very good. We did all work at TPE, so that's another thing too. If you guys don't see a lot of pictures, you didn't see a lot of pictures, or we didn't go live like we had planned on to. We were full on in full work mode the 3 days that we were there at TPE. It was all about trying to get new cigars, trying to cement in the brands that we've already been working with for a long time. We're trying to get set for a long time, so we pretty much worked the whole 3 days. But even saying that, I think we had a great time. We talked to a lot of people that we already knew. We got to meet some people face to face for the first time. It was a good time. I had a great time. I learned a lot. You guys' choices in the club are always great. Can't wait for the next one. Luciano was great. I agree too. And me and James got to sit down with a very important person that is a member of the club too. We both value his opinion greatly. And we know that he's not going to sugarcoat anything with us. And that was the first thing that he mentioned. He said he felt like our groupings were second to none, especially in the price point that the club is in. So that meant a whole lot to me to hear that. It's always good. You already know, you already have the confidence in yourself, and you already know what you're capable of. But it's always still good to hear that from trusted people that have been in the industry for a long, long time. And when I say a long time, these people have been around for 30 years. So to hear somebody with 30 plus years say, I think you guys' club there's nobody right now that's better than you. The only club I could think about is X Club, but this was probably 10 years ago. So for me, that's huge. And like I've said before, if you ain't in the club, I'm done even preaching about it. That's on you. You'll start to see some brands. James has already leaked some information to the Black Line Facebook group of some brands that we're bringing in. You guys are going to start seeing pictures and stuff. And all I can tell you is I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance. And so what's going to be great about it is, again, these are great cigars, but you're going to be able to smoke these cigars at a fraction of what they cost. I don't know how many times I can tell you this. And especially when I'm starting to see some of the cigars people smoke, I'm like, why would you not give the club a chance? Like I said, give it a month or 2 or 3 months. If you don't, there's no commitment, there's no contract or anything. You sign up for a month, you could literally, people have done it. James can tell you. People have jumped in, jumped out, jumped in, jumped out. But we don't encourage that. But that's the thing of not having any contract. What does it hurt you to try it? It's $38 a month. You probably eat more in fast food every week that you're out at work more than that. So, hey. John, what's going on, man? Big T in the building. Feel the same about the FSG tobacco that gets so much better with age. And I agree with that too. Fred, what's going on? Waitlist is about 20. Yeah, we do. That's finally, yeah. We sent out a first wave. So what I was telling some people too, sent out the first wave of emails to some people, and then some people reached out to me and I said, look, if you didn't get the email, wait a couple weeks. That's what it is. The time frame, we're waiting to see who's actually interested in it. If it's not, then you'll be a part of the second wave. So there is a waiting list now. Like I said, that's something I know for sure we're going to try to keep under a certain number. We'll reevaluate things in 3 to 6 months, see how things are going, and then we'll decide then. But that's not going to be a club that's going to be very big. I'll let you know that immediately. Oh, okay, it came in the club box. Okay, I got it. See, and so for me, I feel like even if you ended up not liking it, I feel like for getting it in the club box, I feel like that's pretty solid. You're able to especially smoke something new that and Sammy, that's a thing. That's something probably I would say, even though it's been out for now probably what 3 weeks, month. A lot of people still ain't smoked that cigar. Looking forward to Black Line Club and Black Line Select Cigars. Thank you for the previous cigar, but what time palate is growing? And that's what it's all about. Like I was saying in the last stream before it crashed, is that's where I'm going to gear more towards. Now I'm going to gear more towards education and trying to help people grow their palates, trying to bring more people into the cigar community. That's where I'm gonna gear myself more towards. There'll still be reviews, but that's not just what the channel is gonna be solely on. I'm gonna leave that to the guys that's what they want to do is reviews. I still will pop in and do some reviews, but I'm gonna be doing a lot more different things too. So just be on the lookout for that. Let's see. Smoking the Agnos Supreme Leaf I got from Black Lions. The box press is okay. Which size are you smoking? Caesar, what's going on, brother? Johnson Crawl makes some good cigars. I like them. Is TPE the same thing as Cigar Fix? No, two totally different things. So TPE is Tobacco Plus Expo. That is pretty much designed. You have media people involved in it, but it's pretty much designed for retailers to come and talk with the cigar manufacturers, cigar people. They're placing. It's pretty much on in layman's terms, like a large business meeting for people. You go there, try to order things from different vendors and things like that. It's not really a festival like for just regular people. It's mostly for retailers. You'll see there was quite a few cigar clubs that were there trying to beef up their inventory. And then of course you have media people there because these companies might be releasing new cigars and whatnot. So media people are there to cover that. But no, it's not the same thing as Cigar Fest. Cigar Fest is more along the lines of, hey, we're gonna get a whole lot of people here. We're gonna hang out, smoke cigars, and have a good time. Same thing at TPE, but it's definitely more business oriented there. So yeah, definitely a respected guy. Like I said, the guy has over 30 years in the game, and like I said, we know how he is, and he wouldn't bullshit with us. So that was a huge deal that was my first time actually finally being able to sit down and talk with him face to face and get good feedback from the club, because he's been in for a while and he pays for the club. So there's no, oh, he's only getting stuff given to him, so that's why he's talking highly about it. Like, he actually pays for his membership and he's giving good positive feedback. And like I said before, if you guys don't like it, the feedback we need from you guys is just honest feedback, because that's what's going to make the club stronger. So that's what we always want to bank on. We want to make sure we're getting good feedback from y'all. These are all good on my end, brother. Prudence, what you talking about? You didn't get a bite-in for Prime. See the select group. Okay. All right, Prudence, we'll wrap. T-Money, I'm glad to hear that, man. Very glad to hear that. Big C, what's going on? That's why I put my trust and loyalty in you and James. You boys are amazing. We really, really appreciate that, Janice. And like I said, we've been seeing you and quite a few other people. Of course, Rob and Caesar, some other people, Sean. I don't want to miss any names. I'm not purposely missing names, but you guys have been fantastic online. Me and James, from talking from the first 2 or 3 months of the club, and now seeing the growth, the hashtags, the sharing, it's been great. And I'm not bullshitting with this either. We talked to the first couple of people, the first few companies, and as we were walking up to these booths, everybody knew about us, and that's all because of you guys sharing, spreading. It's the cliche of the cigar community is very small, but it is, man. So people pay attention to this stuff. We walked and talked to a couple few vendors, and within the first few minutes of the conversation, they were like, "Oh, we know who you are. We know what you guys are doing." So it's always a good feeling to hear that, man. Helms, what's going on? Big C, that's the plan, baby. That's the plan. We're gonna blend it and we're gonna see what y'all think about it. Juan, I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Jason, what's going on? Ventez, what's going on? Anthony, I appreciate that donation, brother. Not much, but for your future endeavor, I appreciate that, man. And like I said earlier, plan for me is initially to start becoming a blender, blending cigars. But the goal is to definitely start my own company. That is the goal. Started thinking about pros and cons of everything, reevaluating things. That is the goal for me. That's going to be the end goal. Owning my own company, but also blending. If you kind of look at it, I know a lot of people, because it's kind of funny to me. I always reference Illusione, but I say he's like the dark horse, man. He makes great cigars and he gets some notoriety, but it's like for the guy to have been featured in Cigar Aficionado's top 25 for as much as he has, I feel like Illusione gets slept on so hard. But how he's the owner of the company and he also blends the cigars, so that's the goal. So we're gonna see what happens with that Mil Diaz. My box on the way. That Mil Diaz is very good. I smoked that limited edition today. I still would say I prefer the regular El Mundo size, but the limited edition is very consistent and pretty spot on with the rest of the lineup. And like, I haven't smoked a bad cigar from them yet, but Tabacalero Pichardo is doing some very good stuff. I'm really liking what Luciano's doing with his blending. Of course, you guys know the Warriors has been out a while. The Mil Diaz came out last year in like August, September. That factory is doing a lot of good stuff. So be out on the lookout for them as well. Yeah, Marvin. So like I said, I'm still going to do reviews and I'm still going to do the regular stuff, but it's just not going to be as review heavy as I've been. You know, if you look back at the playlist, it's been a lot of reviews where it's not going to be mostly reviews. I might even pop in live, and if I'm smoking something new, I'll talk to you guys about it and let you know what my thoughts. So, of course, you'll still be able to get good feedback from, whatever cigar I'm smoking, but it's going to be geared more towards other stuff too. So just want to let you guys know, I think that's fair, only fair for you guys that have been watching and waiting to see. But at the same time, like I was saying too, there is Cigar Madness that will finish up, still going to do Summer Showdown. And there's still quite a few reviews that have already been pre-recorded from probably 2 or 3 months ago that'll be out too. So you'll be seeing videos, but then, when you start to see a transition, just don't be alarmed by it. How many more Monte Cristo laying around? I'm sure there's some laying around. There is no waiting list for the regular club, Billy. I told you to get on it, man. You sleeping. I done told you. I ain't gonna tell you. Let's see. On the side. Pete, what's going on, brother? So the waiting list is for the select club. The regular club is still open. Just FYI, I've seen a couple of comments about the regular club is still good. CLE Connecticut is the truth. Fantastic cigar, man. Smoke, that one's always great. There is a sampler pack that I have on sale on Black Line right now that includes the Joya de Nicaragua, Connecticut. That is also another fantastic cigar. You guys know how I feel about Connecticut, but if I like a Connecticut, for me, I think it's a very good cigar. CLE is another great one, and it's very budget friendly too. That's a $6 to $8 cigar. Always consistent, always good. Uncle Larry, what's going on? Appreciate that, man. Driven, never motivated. That's the plan, man. That is the plan. Like I said too, Jay. I know there are going to be some people that follow me for reviews. And probably when I'm not as review heavy, they may track away, but it's fine. Like I said, it just depends on what everybody's goals are. My goals are different than a lot of other people that are reviewing cigars. Some people are reviewing cigars just to kind of keep a catalog of what they're smoking. Some people are reviewing cigars for free stuff. Some people are reviewing cigars for whatever reason. None of those reasons are why I review cigars. That's not what I started the channel for. The Louisiana Opt-in is another fantastic cigar too. Fantastic. Always a favorite, always consistent. The owner of Louisiana has a shop in my town called Fumar. Yeah, in Reno. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know if you've been or how often you go there, but if you get a chance, smoke the Rex, which was named after one of his good friends that frequents that shop, I believe. Rex is a very small cigar, but very good. Jerome, what's going on, brother? Yeah, Jerome, there's a select club now. So what it is long story short, there's a waiting list for that, but for $75 a month, it's a 3-month commitment. We're doing 4 cigars for $75 a month. These will be the more elite, kind of harder to find cigars, but they're still available. So the thought process behind that was, of course, you guys know, with being in the regular club, there were quite a few cigars that I wanted to use, but just being an inventory issue, it's much easier to get 100 or 50 cigars than it is to get 600, 700 cigars. So a lot of the cigars I wanted to use, and of course, if you are familiar with back orders or you're familiar with ordering online in different places, you'll understand that back orders are definitely frequent, especially when COVID hit. The factories were at a very small capacity, if they were even open at all. So back orders became a very big issue. So not only us, but a lot of people that carry cigars dealt with back orders really, really badly. It was a very severe problem. So that threw a wrench in a lot of things. But the Select Club, it allows me to kind of curate without any chains wrapped around. It's so few people in there can just do what I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. All right, it's much easier to get 25 cigars than it is 600. So that's the idea and the thought process behind it. And I also wanted to show people what I could curate without any chains being put on at all. I want people to see what I'm capable of curating. So, Jerome, definitely will put you on the list. Yeah, Unc, man, I was reading the comment on the first one and it just straight up crashed. I don't know what happened, but me and you both know what's coming to an end at some point soon. We both know how it's going. Smooth Ventez, James will probably still be in the chat. I'm sure he's gonna take down Jerome, and Ventez's name for the waiting list on that. So, Scott, what's going on, man? I'm doing good. Hopefully you're doing well. Casa Cuevas said they had trouble getting boxes made because of COVID. Not only boxes, but just cigars. Because again, like I said, if you're used to having 40 tables rolling full time, and then COVID's going on, you only got 10. You're not gonna be able to pump out the same number of cigars, so your inventory's hurt. So back orders become a lot more frequent. Then you have the shortage with Connecticut broadleaf, which a lot of people use. So you have to look at a lot of different things where I say it all the time, being a consumer or somebody that's not on this side of it, it's very easy to make assumptions or think, oh, why don't they have that? But now being on this side of it, seeing how the business kind of runs, it's very easy for me to understand now that things aren't always what they seem. You have to kind of take in the context of what's going on and stores involved, and it's very hard, especially when you're not running at 100%. BCS in the house. I know who you're talking to too on, so. Yeah, so Pete, the select boxes will be out here next month. You'll see the first wave of them. What's the plan for you guys when YouTube shuts down all tobacco related content? So Jerome, we will. I'm sure in the coming month or maybe coming days or weeks or something like that, we'll be chatting with it. But we're gonna all try to find some kind of platform that's healthy. I guess we'll use that for lack of better words. Healthy that kind of doesn't restrict the content or what we're doing as much as this one is. But yeah, I definitely think it's coming. I think it's in due time. They're gonna crush all alcohol related channels, all cigars, all firearms. They're gonna crush all this stuff out. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. The La Palina Goldie, I smoked 3 or 4 different years of that cigar. I like it a lot. That's a cigar I really like. It's very mild. And so you know how I always say, let the cigar, smoke the cigar for what it is. Don't really necessarily pay attention to bands and stories, right? So the La Palina Gold is another cigar that it has a very good story behind it, and how it's only rolled by one person. But that's one of those cigars that I've always been a fan of. Some sizes I like more than others, but I think it's not a cheap cigar either. But then again, like you said, it's only rolled by one person. There's only a certain number released every year. I would say as a whole, I think I like that cigar. It's not something I probably would buy a whole box of, but that's something I may buy 2 or 3 of. And then when I feel kind of in a quote unquote bougie mood, I pull one of those out. That's something I smoke during the morning time for sure. I'm a fan of them though. Sammy, facts. I'm a paramedic too, so a lot of healthcare products and items that we need. I remember at one point saline was just normal saline, normal salt water was back ordered. They had to be careful with that stuff. So, COVID hit really hard. Jerome, you'll definitely start seeing me do more of that too. It may not even be more of like a long live stream thing, but I might start posting some small little things on Patreon as well too. And I'm glad you mentioned that too. I got quite a few Patreon members. I think Danny's still in here. You, Mystical Gent, John Wilhoy. There's quite a few. Prudence is in here as well too. Definitely want to say I appreciate you guys for the Patreon members that have been staying with me consistently, man. You guys are the real MVPs. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I don't think people really realize the importance of how small a contribution. Sammy's in here too. How small of a contribution makes to a person. You know what I mean? You never know what a person's going through or what's going on. So I always say, if you really support somebody, man, try to help them out if you can. So I really want to give a shout out to all my Patreon members too. If you could pick one cigar, what would it be? That's a very hard question. It differs from day to day. It really does differ. Some days it might be this one. It's a lot. There's quite a few cigars I really, really like. It'd be hard to really narrow it down to one. Use library for content storage, upload everything on YouTube. Odyssey as well. Odyssey is great alternate. Yeah, Odyssey is a good one too. I haven't heard of the library one, Jay, but Odyssey is a good one too. No problem, Anthony. Rome, and Patreon has a video platform. Yeah. So what the thing is, I think with Patreon, I think you can post videos in there, but I don't know if you can just like hit a video. I don't like Lee was saying. I don't think you can just hit a video and like go live or make a video. I don't know. I have to check on there, but I think you can upload videos on there. I'm pretty sure you can, but everybody my Patreon members know too. That's kind of one of the perks of being a Patreon member. If you do any shopping with Blackline, there's a 20% off code you get when you sign up for my Patreon. So it's if you do a lot of shopping with Blackline, that might be an incentive too, because the club only gets 15%, but if you are a Patreon member, you get an extra 5%. Everybody likes saving money. So Super, what's going on? Trip was very good, very, very good. I don't think live is available. I think you can post videos though. Yeah, Danny, you get an extra percentage being a Patreon member too. Don't forget that. Billy, I don't know about that, man. I don't know if I'm gonna do OnlyFans, man. Not saying that people do regular OnlyFans, but when I think of OnlyFans, my mind goes in other places. But I don't know about all that. Library blockchain content storage, auto uploads to all platforms. It stays always on your library account. All right, something I have to look into, Jay. You Jerome, I mean, like I tell people, if you're in the club, you might as well use it. You're gonna save money. So let me hey, I'm just saying. When I think of OnlyFans, man, that's what I think of. Y'all know I said, man, I ain't knocking nobody with OnlyFans. That's cool. If you do your OnlyFans thing, you know, get your money. Oh man, y'all wild. Nah, if I do it from the station, they gonna fire me, Adam. I ain't gonna have no job, man. I had to do it at the house. I ain't gonna have to do. I can't do nothing at the station. Yeah, Danny, I don't know, man. You might have a hard time trying to get investors for that one. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna leave that to prop, man. I ain't gonna do no speedos and nothing like that. I don't know though. Now, if I get let go from the fire department, I might have to exalt all options. I ain't gonna rule that out. We're gonna see how that shake out. Oh man. Woo. I'm gonna keep mine to myself too. Now, keeping it PG-13. Hot tub stream. Hey, like I said, if I get let go, I might have to exalt all options. But speaking of that too, man, if you were following me on Instagram at 901_Ron, me and my brother Thomas have another page called Black Guys Who Drink Wine. So if I put a post up there not too long ago. So if you are following me, definitely follow over there, especially if you wanted to get more into wines. We're gonna be dabbling and telling you guys about wines that we like, and you know, might mention price. Well, it's kind of hard to mention price because you just don't know. Different areas are have different taxes and stuff like that, but we still will let people know about different wines that we think are good. We actually had quite a few great bottles today. We drank a Raymond Cabernet. We drank a RH Coon Cabernet, and then we also had a to Z Pinot Noir in Oregon, which was very, very good, especially for the price point. The A to Z Pinot Noir goes for about, I don't know, $15 to $20. On sale, we would get them for $10, which was a phenomenal price. And Oregon is a problem. Oregon and Washington State is a problem. I'm gonna tell you guys now. So Kevin had tights on in his last video and was calling me actor, but I'm gonna let Kevin do that. Kevin is my brother. I love Kevin, but I'm gonna let him do that. If I see Ron looking zesty with a Padron in, come on. Sammy, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, so we are same. I feel like I'm the same way with cigars. We drink some high-end stuff. We drink budget stuff too. We just want good stuff, and not saying that just because of a bottle's expensive. Yeah, we drank $150 bottle of wine the other day that wasn't that great, and then we drank one today that was $15. That was probably one of the best Pinot Noirs, I would say, pound for pound on the market right now. There is a Malbec out of Argentina that's around $30 that I think is a great bottle. So just because something is expensive does not mean it's gonna be good. But yeah, follow Black Guys Who Drink Wine on Instagram, and you'll see the posts we're putting on. And like I said, we're just kind of trying to show some versatility that we do more than just cigars. But but yeah, I've been doing my push-ups too, man. What was the name on the Instagram? The wine one is Black Guys Who Drinks Wine. It's me and my brother Thomas on that one. And then, of course, you know you're already following my regular Instagram. Kevin wanted in 48 states for that. But he wanted in all 50 states. Damn it. I was scrolling on my Instagram and I was like, Kevin, what the hell are you doing, man? What? Y'all go over there. Y'all give him a hard time about that. But this cigar is very good, man. I'm excited to hear y'all's thoughts once this crosses in. Have you tried the AJ Fernandez or Arturo Fuente? Which one are you talking about, Sammy? Notifications going off. Appreciate everybody following the page. Kevin being Kevin, and that's the best way to put it, Kerry. Kevin is being Kevin. I got on him because he was supposed to be at TPE this year, but he didn't show up. So actually, I actually may pull. Y'all hang time to pour me up a bottle of wine right now. Ain't gonna be a too long, but at least I'll give me a glass. And this was the one I was telling you guys about. This is the A to Z Pinot Noir out of Oregon. Oh, come on, Scott. You know, if I ain't gonna half-ass nothing now, if I'm gonna do something, Acabal Ferrer, Sammy, that's probably my favorite budget-friendly Malbec right now. That's the one. There's a fantastic bottle there. Excellent bottle. If y'all want a good Malbec, SB just typed in the chat, probably one of my favorites right now. Let's see. Picked up the wrong cigar. I had Mil Diaz over here earlier. And Lee is doing a great job with it. So there's another. So like I saw he's done some great interviews, and I told him this too. I said, man, I think you got another calling being an interviewer. Blackbird, he did Epic Cigars. Of course, he did Steve Saka, his brother, and then we got Steve Zingle over at Los Caitos, which I'm a huge fan of his too. Danny, man, I'm trying to be better. I'm gonna try to be better as I'm trying to be better, man. I need to do better. I apologize, man. I'm gonna try to not be so harsh all the time. I looked in the mirror. I said I need to stop being such an asshole. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Probably just talking about you in your X-rated pictures, man. Val, what's going on? Any word about the second round of RR Cigars? She would like to buy a 5-pack. Man, I know they're coming out soon. You have to Anthony, email blacklineluxuries@gmail.com. James will know for sure about that. So shoot an email to blacklineluxuries@gmail.com and James will get a hold of you and let you know what's going on. Those Lee Mac interviews have been great. Have you tried any of the wines from Wade Cellars? If so, what are your thoughts? Not yet, Ray. I haven't tried any yet. Mil D, P, if you like the Mil Diaz, the limited edition, you're gonna like that one too. It's a really, really long smoke. That's what I will say. So you'll have to dedicate some time down. I think I smoked on that thing for maybe 2 hours. It's like a 7 1/8 by 49 or 48 ring gauge. It's a big cigar, man. So you have to put some time down. But I enjoyed it though. Danny, you already know that it is. No filters, man. But at the same time, I'm trying to do better. I got to try to do better, man. I got to do better. There were 2 in the DBL sampler. There were in the sampler too. Though now, Jerome, those from the sampler were actually from me and James's personal stash, because at that point the first run had already been sold out, and the demand was so high, and I had enough of them, and he did too. So we kind of pieced together some samplers, and we were like, all right, cool. Some people want to try, and we'll give them an opportunity, but at the same time, you need to support Francisco and what he's doing too. So that's why we ended up putting the sampler together too, to promote DBL and Francisco, what he's doing. Lee will tell you, he's in the chat. Francisco is one of the most humble, most nice people I think I've ever run across. Just a really nice guy. Very easy to support him, like as you guys have seen in the interview with Steve Zingle, Jonas at Blackbird, Dean at Epic. These guys are very easy to support. They're very genuine. So, Lee, don't give him no ideas, man. I'm an enabler. Alcohol Ferrer has a blend too, cheaper than the Malbec, but worth it. Seeking out. Yeah. So I haven't had that blend either. My friend that runs the liquor store told me about it. I haven't had a chance to try it, but that Malbec, that's one I don't mind spending $34. That's a weekly drinker for me. That's a very, very good Malbec. Need to come out with a Black Line club hat. We got some merch coming. We're trying to finalize. Maybe we're revamping the logo. So we're reworking the logo, and then at that point, that's when you'll probably start seeing the merchandise starting to come out. Now, me and James are trying to rework the logo. Yeah, Jerome, those were out of our personal stashes, man. Those weren't sitting around for real. Like, I think I may have 8 cigars left in my personal stash. Those were from personal stashes. Your spring sampler is fire. Hey, I appreciate that. That's another. So of course, I didn't put any official videos out, so a lot of people don't know about it. But I do have a spring sampler out now on Black Line, featuring the La Historia, the Louisiana Ultra No. 3. So it's some good cigars in there, and it comes with a lighter as well too. You guys know I always put in little tricks and stuff like that. Not very expensive, but I'm standing on the cigars in that pack. These are going to be great cigars for you. So I think I was looking, or somebody commented on Instagram the other day, they were looking for a sampler pack or something like that. Maybe it was Derek in Houston. I think that's who it was. But definitely check out the spring sampler that I pieced together. And again, like I've said before, this is all stuff that I'm piecing together. This is what's great about it. I get creative control over what I'm doing, which is very nice for me, because things that I like are what's going in. So, Kerry, glad you enjoyed it. I think Francisco has some really good cigars. T-shirt guy, what's going on, family? Still got to try that. Cigar on. Let's see. At some point, I think so too, Cigar Man. We got to get Lee Mack to get his own network. And that's a steal. A 15. I remember at one point. So this one goes for about 15 to 20. At one point, my friend had it on closeout for $9.99. I bought 2 bottles. I drank one, and I went back up to the store to buy more. He was like, they're gone. I was like, man, I would have bought a case of them if I would have known it would have been gone that quick at that price. So, all right, Janice, you have a good night too. Be safe out there. What cigar pairs well with a Pinot Noir? It's gonna really depend on, because even though it's a Pinot Noir, it's gonna depend on what you're drinking. Some of them are going to be more full than the others. Some will have a little bit more tannins to it. It's really going to depend. But a safe bet, it would be, you don't want to go too mild or too strong, because, of course, right? So, like, just a generic answer is going to be, if you're too mild and the wine is too heavy, it's going to overpower your palate, and all you'll be tasting is the wine. You have to be very careful pairing with wines, too, because the wine saturates your palate and has a lot of acidity to it. So it can kick out the flavors of the cigar. And also, if the cigar is too bold or too peppery or too spicy, it'll kick out the flavors of the wine. So it's kind of a balancing game. It's going to be whatever your palate is accustomed to. It's kind of really a tricky thing. That's one of those things. You go to the liquor store, buy you about 3 or 4 different bottles, maybe in the $10 to $15 price point, and you just take sips or whatever and just kind of experiment and find out what works for you. Because something that may be really good for me, you might drink it and might not think it's that great. So that's kind of the difficulty and the beauty of it. Everybody's different. Now, we might cross paths with some things. There might be some things that we both like or whatever, but a lot of times it'll be little subtleties or little differences. Or you might like a particular bottle. I might like it too, but we might like it for different reasons. So, E Hunt, what's going on, family? Kwame Brown killing it, man. He didn't I don't think he said nothing wrong. I'm not too familiar with Instagram, but I see I need to be connected. So Anthony is just all depending. It's good to be over there too because a lot of probably the content creators that you follow obviously have Instagram accounts. At this point with YouTube, we don't know it. Any day they could probably kick us all out. We kind of are at the discretion of them. Whatever they decide to put on is kind of gonna be on them. But this is this A to Z is going to be more. It has some dryness to it, but it's going to be a lot more full and berry flavor. It's still light and crisp at the same time. It's not going to be as heavy as like a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Cabernet Franc. It's not going to be as heavy as that. I think these run around 13.5%. It's not going to be around that 15 to 16. It's not as heavy, but you're still getting a nice luscious mouthfeel, a nice full flavor on this one. This is a very easy drinking Pinot Noir. I feel like this is a very good daily drinking Pinot where I could bring this bottle to the person that doesn't drink wine. I could bring this to a person that really, really appreciates wine. This one is going to cover. It's pretty much a safety net. It pretty much is going to cover everything. So, and that's a fact too. It depends on where it's grown to because you're going to have a lot of different regions that offer different things. Where I've been really big into Paso Robles lately, in the lower region in California, where they're a lot more bold and more forward. I like those. Then you got Napa Valley, you got Sonoma Valley, you got Oregon, Washington State. You got a lot of different places. You got Argentina that produces Malbecs. You got Chilean wine. You got Spanish wine. You got ports. There's so many different regions that produce different flavor profiles and different tastes. It's just really gonna depend. That's pretty much what I did. Like I'm telling you guys, it sounds crazy, but like what I do with stuff, if I become interested in it, I just kind of experiment on my own. I start buying stuff. I start trying to buy different things, and then I'll narrow it down to regions and say, all right, these are from Sonoma Valley, these are from Napa Valley, these are from Paso Robles, these are Malbecs, and I try to figure out these are from Australia, and I try to figure out what each area is bringing to what do they bring their own different characteristic to it, and then at that point, I try to smoke cigars and figure out from drinking previous wine previously what I think will pair well. So it's really all just one big experiment, I have not paired a cigar with Red Bull. I cannot tell you the last time I had a Red Bull. When I was in high school, I used to drink a lot of full throttles, like not the newer bottles, but the OG full throttle energy drinks. I like those a lot. But of course, at that point, I wasn't smoking cigars. But I've never paired a cigar with an energy drink. The thing with Kwame, though, Jerome, he ain't say nothing wrong. Like they said, all they have to say about him is the basketball jokes. But then, like I said, even with the cigar reviews and stuff, it's like, all right, we go past the cigar reviews and the channels and stuff like that. How is it that you carry yourself off camera? How is it? Are you a family? Are you a family person? It goes so much more than that. So for me, that's why relatability is very big for me when I'm watching channels because I like being able to relate to somebody's palate and like what they do as well. But what really resonates with me more is being able to feel like I relate to them as a person. I would like to know that whenever I run across this person at a cigar fest or in a random lounge or something, I can sit down beside them, have a cigar, we can have a conversation. Me and Lee Mac get together. It's like we've known each other for 20 years. We sit down, smoke, we just talk about everything. And then it's funny because somebody like him, and he'll tell you, we talk every day, but a lot of times we don't even talk about cigars. It's just so much other stuff. So that to me is what's important to me. But what's important to me may not be important to you. It might only be entertainment to you. It might be, whatever reason you watch cigar content is. But for me, when I watch content creators or things like that, I like to watch stuff that I can relate to. That's really important for me. So, Brian, what's going on, brother? Haven't checked in a while, but if you're reminding us you're alive, I guess you've been gone too. Yeah, I've been gone, man. I hadn't been posting a lot lately, like I was saying. I know you probably haven't been here, but I got into a mental area where I really didn't want to review cigars anymore. Just kind of wasn't shutting the channel down, but I needed some time away. And sometimes you can't be afraid to just stop doing stuff, man. I think sometimes people are afraid to just say fuck it, and just stop doing. Or I've always been a very big person on I do what I feel like, and if it feels right to me, I'm gonna take a break. And putting out a quality product is very important for me too. So where I was at mentally, I wasn't going to be putting out the best quality content I could. So I just stopped and took me a little bit of a break. and then Eric is going through some stuff too. So it just all happened at the same time. So we've been on break now from reviews for probably about a month. And, you know, we'll be back soon. I'm not going to put a specific date, but of course I'll set premieres and stuff like that. And y'all know when we be back. But yeah, definitely a much needed break. I've been able to spend some more time with the family and kind of relax and get my mind cleared up. It's been good. Yeah, Jerome. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, it's sometimes what people need to hear is maybe not the most popular opinion, but I always, you know, y'all know what I always say, as long as you're able to sit in front of the mirror when you wake up in the morning or go to sleep at night and you're comfortable with what you look at, that's the main thing for me. And I always try to make sure that I'm comfortable with what I look at in the mirror. So can't speak for everybody, but I always try to make sure that's what resonates and what stands with me. So Red Bull makes me think of Jaeger and X body spray cigar. Likes to pair rehab energy. So that's the good thing about Kevin too. Kevin is kind of the oddball of everything. He does what everybody doesn't do, which is great because, like I said, who wants to watch everybody that's doing the same thing? We need people like Kevin. You need different people that bring different things to the community. I think that's great because somebody that's watching Kevin may not necessarily like what I'm doing or want to watch what I'm doing, or Lee Mack or whoever. So it's great because that person that may like Kevin and may not like anybody else, that might drag them into smoking cigars. And for me, the overall goal is to make sure people are coming into the cigar community and enjoying them and staying with cigars. I think that's the most important thing because I want people to experience what I've gotten from cigars in the 6 years that I've been smoking. It's brought a lot of pleasure to me. It's helped me through a lot of tough times. And so, you know, like I said, you know, God willing, I'll be smoking until I can't. So I think it's done a lot for me. And, you know, it's I like to say every time I light up, it's a vacation. So I try to take as many vacations as possible. So is anything exciting? PTP? Yeah, there was a lot of things. I didn't even, you know, there's so many vendors out there. And then, of course, they had the CBD stuff going on, the vaping stuff. So even in the 3 days, it was just kind of hard to get around to everything. There was a lot of people there. I think it was a lot more people than they said it was there last year. So a lot of new cigars that were being released, a lot of stuff I didn't get a chance to get around to. Of course, PCA is coming up in July, so I'm sure a lot more things will be leaked out then. But no, I definitely had a good time. I saw a lot of exciting things. So most importantly, what I saw was just people. There was no negative energy. Everybody had good energy about them. Everybody was just enjoying the space and enjoying each other's time. You could tell it was a big relief. People were just happy to be in front of other people. And for me, that was a big thing for me, just seeing people just enjoying cigars and just being around other people. That's what I liked about it. Yeah, definitely needed some time to recharge. I think that was definitely a good thing for me, you know, and that's one thing I feel like I'm never going to compromise. When my body or my mind tells me I need a break, I'm going to take a break. Kevin's definitely a good dude. Means well, definitely a solid guy. Give you the shirt off his back. Jerome, you might have to DM him and see if you can DM him and see if you can get that humidor. It does look nice though. Sammy, for sure. That's definitely important. And that's another thing you have to keep in context too. Like, kids aren't kids forever. You know, and even as you're growing up, when everybody here has experienced being a child. So, you know, as you're growing up as a kid and you think you'll be a kid forever, and then you grow up and then you start having a family of your own and start your career and doing things. And then you sit back and kind of look at how life is kind of presented itself. It kind of makes you grateful for where you are. And then it makes you appreciate and not take things for granted. And for me, I look at two small kids. They're not going to be kids forever. I'll look up one day and they'll be in their 20s or 30s. So I want to make sure that I never was the father that they can say that he never was around or he never did anything for. So I always want to make sure that I'm there for them. I'm in the picture. I'm around. I always want them. If anybody asks, like, what about your dad? My dad was always around. He's always helpful. He's always did everything he could to help us. So that's another thing that drives me too. I want to make sure the kids are doing good. Preacher, what's going on, Real? Magic Toast coming in a box press. And that's just, I like that cigar too. That's probably my favorite Ali Bradley cigar. The only knock I always say on it is the flavors are always good, but they just burn bad even when I dry box them. But the flavors are always good. So I'll be interested to see how that smokes in the box press. Man, responsibly, family and peace of mind will always come first. That's not in order. Nothing else will be. Keep taking your time. I appreciate that, man. It was a very nice time to reconnect. TP was good. And I think, you know, with TPE happening and people seeing how things went, I think it's going to be great. I think it'll be the catalyst to kind of break open the gates and let people know, hey, you can have a convention and things will be fine. So. Man, y'all have to check out Preacher's honey too. Preacher got some real good honey over there too, man. I tell you, my son ate that stuff up too. I remember I used to make him pancakes for breakfast quite often. And he didn't even want syrup. He was like, I want honey. All right, cool. You eat honey on it. So Preacher's son, Quincy likes the honey too. You're doing a good thing. David, it'll be back soon at some point. I mean, all I can say is you see me live, so just keep your bell on, and whenever the first episode will be coming out, I'll premiere it so you'll know when it's coming out. But I'm not gonna give a definite time frame. It'll be out when it's out. Mike, what's going on? Oh, there's about Preacher Bees. Richie, I can't disclose that, man, but I'm smoking a blend that will be featured in the club. There's a company that we picked up in TPE that was very impressive. The catalog was very impressive, and the owner was really cool too, man, which goes a long way. As you guys can see from the interviews that Lee Mack has done, sometimes even if a company's not necessarily putting out the best cigars, sometimes, again, if a person is relatable and they seem like a good person, it makes you want to support that person. Now, just so happens that this guy's cigars, I feel like, are really good. And the company's been around for about 10 years, and I've looked around and haven't seen too many people talking about them. But we will be featuring his cigars in the club coming up. We smoked through the lineup. We liked what we liked. And like I said, again, talking to the owner, very solid guy. So you guys will be seeing it. And I will tell you this, bank on that. You will see it in the club. Okay, Preacher, that sounds good. David, I'm glad to hear that, man. What was your favorite one out of the box? And Kerry, I like that you said that. That's kind of something I live by. Relationships are so important, and that's kind of how I live by too. Life is about relationships, man. It's about, again, like who you know, relationships, treating people well, being nice. That stuff takes you a long way. I think that's very true. Tried those both sides cigars, and the copper line was pretty good. I'm glad. I know Billy will be happy to hear about that too. I don't know if he's gonna watch this stream, but I know Cowboy might peek in or he might be listening. So I'm sure he'll be able to report back to Billy. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that too. But fun fact, I don't know how many people know about this, but it's public knowledge, so it's not like I'm saying a secret. But Bowtie is tied in with Casa Cuevas. Him and Luis Cuevas have a good relationship. Got a chance to meet Luis at the TPE. Another super solid guy, very laid back, very honorable, super solid. Very easy to support somebody like that when you meet somebody that's just very genuine and seems like a very good person. Didn't get a chance to talk to his son, but I met him and he seemed like a very, very nice dude. You have to let us know what you think of the Blackbirds. All right, Jerome, good night. Yeah, I ain't gonna be too long. Down in Tampa. Yeah, got to meet Jonas there at TPE too. We didn't get the chance to talk too long like him and Lee Mack. We talked for a couple minutes in passing, but he seemed like a very nice dude too. All right, Sammy, you take care. But on that note, man, I think I'm gonna get out of here too. I'm gonna sit back the rest of the night, enjoy the rest of this wine, probably do me a little reading, catching up, and see what happens. Maybe, who knows? I might pop in tomorrow morning at some point. We'll see. I might come up live tomorrow morning. We'll see. See how I'm feeling. So, David, you were in Vegas too. Oh yeah, man. I know James and Nick will be back during PCA. I won't be there during PCA. Yeah, that's definitely important, Richie. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna definitely decompress. That's definitely what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna get out of here, do me a little read, and drink on the rest of this wine. Probably light me up another cigar after I smoke this. But hopefully, I know it's during the middle of the week, so I know a lot of people might have to work tomorrow too. But thank you guys for tuning in again. Thank you guys for all the support. Again, shout out to all the Patreon members that are there. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you guys. We're definitely going places. We're going to do some big things in the future. I'm looking forward to it. We got a lot of heavy stuff going on, man. So really happy for you guys to be a part of it. I think it's going to be huge. And definitely don't take anything for granted. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, people are paying attention to you guys. We are definitely growing, and people are taking notice. So y'all be good, man. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all know the name of the game is relaxation and enjoyment. Damn sure don't forget to be driven, never motivated. Y'all be good. Stay safe out there. I love y'all.